Hey, howdy-ho, Lions fans. Welcome to the Detroit Lions Podcast Victory Edition, episode 437. This is the official Detroit Lions podcast for Reddit. I am the dashingest of dashing hosts, Chris, and with me is my good friend and, well, quite manifestly dashing as well, co-host Ash. How you doing, my man? Good to have you on board.
FTP! 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 Yeah, baby.
Let's do this. Holy cow, what a great win. What a great win today. Taking down the FTPs. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you all for rolling those subscriptions in. We'll talk to you in a quick second. Today's show, we got a lot. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to bring the post-game show, Coach Campbell's post-game presser. We might get a player or two as well. We'll have a roundtable. We'll take your calls live. We got all that going on. Make sure to read the description. It was a prediction that was written last night, and I think you're going to like it. All right, we got all that going on, a whole lot more. Ash, are you ready to go, my man?
Let's get it on.
Let's kick this off and break it down.
All right. Aaron Rodgers made an appearance on Curb Your Enthusiasm today. FTP. FTP. It's so great. If there's one team to beat every year, it's them. It was absolutely awesome. I had a couple rum runners during the game today, and I noticed when I was talking to Ash, I mispronounced some words along the way. So he's going to help me keep things in check and in a good place. But first off, let's just go straight reaction. Ash, how do you feel?
Absolutely spectacular. I woke up at 4:30 in the morning so I could drive home and watch this game today. I had 4 hours on the road prior to getting to watch what happened right there. And man, I had a feeling it was going to be worth the drive. Like, there've been a couple games where as you know, there's been a couple times where you had to call an audible because I was driving back from the exact same place. It was like, man, I'm just not feeling it this week. I don't think I'm going to do that. But today I kind of felt like this was going to be worth the time. So
yeah, I'm
exhausted.
Oof.
Mentally and physically.
Yeah. No, I know. I had that kind of week. I had to wake up at 4 on Thursday to fly out, and then I didn't get to bed because I was catching up at work. I didn't get to bed till like 12:30 after midnight that night. Had to wake up the next morning. I had just been like a mess, exhausted. So glad to have a weekend. A lot of great Detroit sports action this weekend. Wings won, Michigan won, Lions won. It's just freaking great weekend. Capping this all off with a Lions win over the Pack is just juicing the wheels here. A couple quick things. We are watching for the post-game presser to start. As soon as we see that and catch that, we will go to that and bring that live to you. Also, I need to talk about St. Jude. St. Jude is coming up, our 24-hour St. Jude charity auction and podcast. We will podcast for 24 hours. The auction starts on Black Friday. It's going to go through the podcast December 9th and 10th. So we're going to start at 9 a.m. on Friday, on the 9th, 9 at 9. And we're going to go all the way till 9 a.m. on the 10th. So 9 at 10 in December, 24 hours. Riz and I and all the friends, we're going to have all kinds of great guests and the whole thing. We're raising money for St. Jude. We will get this over $100,000 totally raised this year with your help. We're looking for you. That's pretty sweet to get over 100K. We thank you all for your help and really look forward to you joining us on this journey to help these sick kids get better. Because it's one of the things that, when I do it every year, no matter how the Lions are doing, it kind of just justifies what we do and helps me stay tuned to what matters for real. Football's a lot of fun, but when you can help some sick kids, that's the way to go. All right, let's get to this, man.
My favorite part of it is that I get to show up for 2 hours or 1 hour even and just egg whoever's watching on to make you guys do horrible things and tattoo myself to raise the amount of money that we put up. So
every year somebody does exactly what we do the next year. Isn't that funny? All right.
It is crazy.
People ask why I rip on a particular person in particular. It's because they literally Xerox our show just later.
Yeah, like someone's getting a tattoo for charity, and been there, done that, and I'll do it again this year too. Not that I invented that. Like the people have done this before, but
nothing wrong doing stuff for charity. That's great and to be commended, but come on, figure your own shit out. All right, let's talk about the Lions. This is great. They figured some shit out today. Came out on top of the Green Bay Packers. Could this be the point that flips Aaron Rodgers? Because you know how he is, right? He's an emotional infant, and this is the kind of thing that could really flip a switch on him because they aren't getting him the help. They didn't do anything at the deadline, and they talked like they were trying. There's a lot of rumors about what they were trying to do at the trade deadline. They didn't get him anything, and they saw what they saw against the 32nd secondary in the NFL, one of the worst defenses, if not the worst defense in the NFL, supposedly. Credit, and you guys know where I'm going, Jerry Jacobs. Jerry Jacobs out there today.
Yep.
My man, first game back after almost a year. Seatbelt ganged it up. Seatbeltgang.com. Show your swag. Jerry Jacobs out there, and he had a hell of a game. He did have that one PI that didn't get called, and then one that did, right?
As we were mentioning in the chat, it's not like there were no calls that weren't called against the Lions. It goes both ways, and that's all you can ask is that if they're going to be terrible, they just be terrible evenly to both sides.
Yeah. You wish there was no bad calls, but if they're bad, equally bad, that's fine. Consistently bad, that's fine, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to accept the reality that because they're human beings, they're going to miss some calls. You just have to hope that they kind of fall on both sides, and I think we saw that today.
Sean Wright, we won a game, and with that, we won a game, but for real, the Lions need a better quarterback. In my opinion, Goff is gone after this year. There's
all signs point to yes.
There's a lot to be said about exactly that point you just made.
Because the Lions won a game, bitch.
There you go. There's a lot pointing that way. We'll see what happens with Jared Goff. He is maddening. His second quarter performance, I mean, I have to look. His yards for today were not impressive. There were 116 yards somewhere in the passing, somewhere in the third quarter, which was like, oh my God. That was...
there was a point he had thrown 18 passes for 88 yards, and that was under 5 yards per attempt.
Yeah. So
that was in the third quarter somewhere.
So Jared Goff ended up with 137 yards on the day. I mean, the second half was basically the second half from the Miami game, which I was at, which is why we didn't have a post-game show last week. So sorry about that, everybody, that we had that. But that was just a frustrating as hell. Great first half, great game to be at, but just stunk. And there's a lot of Miami fans in the building, I'll tell you that. So this week I was a little bit nervous, and when I saw that second quarter start to happen, I was like, oh my God. But the defense, I mean, we have to stand up and shout about this defense. Oh my gosh, these boys brought it out. This game, Pascal across the board. They were just like that defensive line played like that defensive line really hasn't this year. Getting an interception, Hutch, great for him. Awesome. I mean, Seatbelt Gang getting in there. Worried about Kirby, worried about Okuda. They didn't come back after the match. Neither one was back on the field.
Well, with Kirby, Kirby was out on the field briefly.
Yeah.
So that's just, you're done for the day. And at this point, they just pull you out and there's no chance to come back. I never heard anything about Okuda. They never actually said what the deal was with that, whether it was a concussion protocol thing or what was going on. But if they deemed that he had reacted poorly to a blow to the head, it would have been the same thing for him, where there was just even if he showed zero symptoms, he would be done for the day, just like happened to Amon-Ra St. Brown earlier in the year.
Yep. So defense, love the defense, the adjustments. I mean, after losing Kirby and Okuda both, who are key, right? Jerry's out there now. Jerry's playing, and what happened? Nothing. I mean, Jerry was great.
What happened is Jerry hit a whole bunch of people and broke up some passes, man. That's what happened. That was beautiful. That's exactly what you wanted to see out of him this week, man. That could not, if you scripted it, it wouldn't have been better. He was
Okuda returned to the game. Thank you, Carson and David.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yep. Jerry was out there just busting skulls. Love it. I love it. If you guys see Jerry Jacobs, we'll take calls in a little bit here. We got the podium coming up right now. Dan Campbell.
Family members that served, and so this kind of means a lot to me, but we had taps yesterday. We had the group that was out there at practice, and I knew they were going to be at the game. It's just one of those. It's one other little small reminder of what we do is insignificant as it pertains to everything that people go through every day. But I'm just glad we could bring them a little happiness today. So I'm proud of our guys. They just don't go away. They believe they can win every week. They put it in, and we made one more play today. We made one more play than they did to win the game.
The defense has been criticized quite a bit in the 1-6 start, but you get 3 interceptions today to have the stand that they did. Just talk about the performance of your defense.
I'm proud of them. I just gave the game ball to AG. It's a hell of a job, man. Coaches his heart out, and he put everything into it as he always does, and those guys responded. We knew we needed takeaways today. A minimum of 2 is what we talked about, and Kirby Joseph came up big. Hutch got 1. But as a whole, that defense, man, they rose up. And, I thought we played aggressive. I did think we challenged on the perimeter. Look, some of the plays that they made, we were in the fight, and that's all you can ask for. We're in it. We're in it. So, all right, they made a play. But I felt like, man, we made them go the hard way, the long, hard way, and we were able to sustain. And our defense, to go down to the wire and our defense make the final stop for the win, I think it's crucial.
Super chat, Jamie Johnson. Hey, A-Rod, how do you like
These nuts.
now?
Kirby already. Derek Barnes is another one. Just maybe a little out of nowhere, but consistently both those guys making big plays throughout the game. Did you sense it was coming for either one of those guys?
Well, Kirby, yes, for sure. Only because Kirby's been, he's shooting now for 3 weeks now. He's not come off the field, and we're just letting him grow. But he's been so close. I swear every week we talk about, man, he is, the first time he missed one of those interceptions, he was about an inch away, and then the next one was about half inch away, and so now he's starting to feel it. He's got a little bit of, he's got some instincts to him, some ball hawk instincts, but that was good to see. And Barnes every week has improved.
Yeah,
every week he's improved.
Barnes boners.
And we all want it
Barnes
to
had
be
some juice today.
at a certain rate. But the bottom line is he just keeps coming on. And it was good to see him out there running around. I mean, there was a number of guys, without watching tape, the whole defense I thought played outstanding, I mean, Will Harris was all over the field. I mean, so it was just, it was a great effort. I thought Alex played well. But look, the unit itself really, they took a stand today and won the game for us.
How about the play you got out of
Aaron Rodgers, first time in his career, 3 picks in the red zone. We hadn't saw that play from him. I guess when you see the job you're able to do on the reigning MVP as well, what does that mean for you guys? What you guys are able to do?
Well, look, I just think it's look, I felt like we had a good plan for him, and just how we wanted to play. Look, you got to disguise. I mean, you have to, and he'll take it all the way down to the wire to get a beat on what you're doing, and and then if you have an opportunity, you got to make the most of it, and we did that today. So it's one of those where if you just hang in there, and there again, man, if you're going to get beat, it's because you're in phase and a guy made one hell of a play on you. It's just you just happen to get beat one-on-one, but it's not the crucial errors. Was that your guy or my guy? That you eliminate that, and those guys they stepped up and they made it happen today. Go ahead.
Dan, how about the way the tight end stepped up, catching 2 touchdown passes, particularly with this week in the trade?
Yeah, it was good to see, and
It's nice to
I
have
thought they
tight ends
blocked
produce.
well as well. They helped us in the run game. We knew that was going to be a hard physical game, and look, that's a good defense, and they do a lot of different things. They have multiple fronts. They have multiple coverages, and but I thought the tight ends they stepped up and did exactly what we needed them to do for this game.
And it wasn't the prettiest game drive for your offense, but you said you guys made that one last play in the end for your defense. If you don't, maybe we're talking here about the offense the first few questions. You said last week the complimentary football wasn't there. Is this the NFL? Your defense gets it done today, and you can hear a smile on your face?
Yeah, look, I'm excited because we won, man, and I feel like it was great to see, man, our defense taking some heat, and to see them step up against a worthy opponent, is and a good quarterback. It's good. It's real good, and I'm proud of those guys because it's easy to just, get frustrated and go in the tank, but they came back. And they believed in themselves. They believed in the coaches were going to get them prepared and give them the best game plan to have success. And so they just came back to work like they have every week. look, offensively, yeah, it wasn't as clean as it's been, but man, of course we want it to be cleaner, but we did get some first downs. We were able to run it a little bit, and we got in the end zone down there, other than the fourth down. And, yeah, of course we want to be better. But, man, that was good enough to win today.
Yeah, with the game this last week, you had a lot of upheaval, let's say, right, with the trade and the coaching change. What does it say about your team as far as responding to that? Maybe how much they're still listening to you, buying into what your messages?
Well, I don't know if they're listening, but we won, so I'll take it. They're listening to somebody, and I'll take that if it's me or somebody else, because I'll take the win.
How important is it? How much does it make you feel great that a lot of the impact plays in this game, Aiden, Kirby, Jimmy Mitchell stepping in, were done by young rookie players who are just seems like starting to kind of come into their own right now? And how important is that for your football team moving forward?
Well, look, it's important, but, man, of course it's important. You want those guys to grow, and but at the same time, man, I want to see all of them make plays, man. That's why it's good to see Alex out there. It's good to see Bugs. I mean, Bugs making some plays, man. Mac, I mean, all of them, but, of course, Mac is a young guy. But so, look, our offensive line, those are some veteran guys we got for us. See them rise up again, But it's just, listen, it was a good win, man. Our guys came in ready to go. We weren't flat. They don't care, They don't care about that. They just, they want to win. They want to win, and they're willing to put in the work to do it.
And early in this upheaval, what do you, as you reflect back on the week, how tough was it? You talked about Lillard the other day, and why do you think they were so resilient? Why do you think they came out with the performance they did today?
Well, I feel like, we've been in these games, so they've been resilient. We just haven't made the last play when we needed to, and we made the last play today. We just made one more play. Go ahead.
You talked about making them go the long way. You had a choice at the end of that game on the fourth down to make them go the long way. It kind of mirrored a little bit what happened in Minnesota. You opted to go for it. Your defense maybe a little tougher position than they needed to be. Why did you make the decision that you did? And I guess how proud are you for your defense responding maybe where they hadn't early in the season?
Yeah, you're talking about to go for it at the end, as opposed to kick the field goal or punt. Yeah, I felt like I liked where we were at, and I thought we would convert that. But if we did not, I had 3 timeouts in my pocket, and yeah, our defense was playing pretty good, So I just felt like that was the way to go.
Couple more guys. How much do you think the secondary specifically, because that's the unit that lost the coach, how much do you think they were changed by that or pushed by that?
Well, look, I think that, you never know. It's things are certainly going to be a little different in that room when things like that happen. You have somebody else in there now that's, though they know him, it's a different setup, and the way that you're being coached it's still what AG wants, but there's a different way of communicating it. That's all, And look, it's hard to lose AP. I said this before, man. There's a lot of good coaches that things happen to, and he's a hell of a coach, and he's going to land on his feet, and he's going to rise back up again, and he's going to be probably a head coach one day. That's how much I think of him, but that's unfortunately just where we were at. But it was good to see, our guys hung in there, and they listened, and they believed, and they played well.
What does it say about this defense to get 3 picks on Aaron Rodgers?
It just says that, we made the plays that were there. We did not let an opportunity slip through our fingers.
Mike and Eric last team.
Yeah, just one thing. Did you plan to lean on your running game as much as you did? Or did it just develop that way? And it seemed like it just kind of matched what was going on. It's a tough hitting game all the way.
Yeah, I just, we felt like, we could pound it a little bit. And when your defense is playing like they're playing, you're able to do more of that. It gives you that luxury. So, and there again, we love our offensive line. We think it's one of the strengths of our team, So we lean on them, give it to Jamal another time, and, and go that route.
Eric, last one. Coach, just a simple question. How good does it feel to just get a win? The heat that you guys have been facing, especially after decisions, after everything. How does it feel just to get a win? You know how hard wins have been to come by these last 2 years.
Yeah, listen, of course it feels great. I'll be honest with you, I'm exhausted. So, like, I just, I want to go home, put the feet up, drink a beer, and just, so it feels real good. I'm just proud of them. I really am. I'm proud of our coaches. I'm proud of the players. I'm proud of everybody, because everybody puts a lot of work into it. I know it's only 2, but my gosh, man. And there again to see, end of the game, man, one stop, our defense comes through, I just think we need that. We needed that.
Any update on Kirby?
He is in concussion protocol. I just, if we had an opportunity to get points, I wanted to get points.
There you go. All right. Oh, Dan Campbell brings it in. And that was great. Aaron Rodgers, I just want to hit on that because a bunch of people brought that in. Aaron Rodgers just folding and crying and tears just flowing throughout the entire game. I loved it. There's no better picture in my mind than a pouting, crying, tumbling Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he was like screaming on the field when like it was his terrible throw that let Kirby break up the pass. Yeah. Like, who you yelling at, man? You suck. Like, get off the field, old man, and quit whining.
Yeah.
Like, you're almost as old as me, for God's sake.
It was great. What a game. What a game, man. And like I said, this is the thing where this is the kind of thing that will break an Aaron Rodgers. Just eyes on draft picks really quick. This win did drop us from the first overall pick to the 5th pick. How does that happen? Well, you have Houston, who is 1-6-1. They had that tie. So now they're number 1. And then all the 2 and 6 teams are ahead of us because our strength of schedule is just over the top. It's let me see. There's one other.
What's the Rams record right now?
The Rams are losing. I'm going to get to that in a second.
We're one win behind them.
We had the second highest strength of schedule of all the teams in the NFL so far this year. Green Bay's the only one that's had a harder strength of schedule. Which
we're 1 week away from having the Rams pick be higher than ours.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Update on the Rams. They're now 4th down. Tampa Bay have it running the sideline here. Tampa Bay is just really defensively killing them. Ooh, Stafford's left hand is bleeding. That's thankfully, I guess, good to see right now.
He'll keep playing.
Yeah. But they're punting. Rams are punting. Tampa Bay up 3-0. And God, if I look at the Rams, where are they? Oh, I was looking too high. That's my mistake. 15th. Yeah, another drop. Another drop. They come right in our range. We could have 2 top 10 picks at the end of this point. This is beautiful. Jameson Hennessy, thank you, sir, for your generosity in that super chat. That is beautiful. It is awesome that we won. It's epic that we beat the Packers. And FTP is absolutely right that we did. You are absolutely right on that.
Hey, Chris, if I wanted a T-shirt that said FTP on it, where could I get one of those?
I heard that you could go to DetroitLionsPodcast.com/store and get that and all kinds of amazing Lions merchandise. If you like Detroit stuff, if you want some retro Detroit kind of stuff, Pablo Island, Pine Knob, some other good stuff. Pine Knob took the name back, losers, but whatever. Great stuff, including an FTP shirt, all available at DetroitLionsPodcast.com/store. Check it out. I just wanted to actually really quick now just ask people to hit that subscribe button and the like button. We ask once per show, and we're just doing it now. Hit the like button, please, while you're doing it. You're here watching. You spend a few seconds. It only takes a second to hit the little button. Helps us out a lot. Helps other people find the show. And of course, the subscribe button helps us out as well. So please hit those buttons. Let other people know about it, and let the YouTube algorithm do its thing to share us with some other folks. All right, let's fire up the phones. We will take your calls now in the background. Now, if they put another player on the podium, you may get interrupted. It's only going to be for a short period here. But just want to let you know, if they put someone else on the podium, we're going to bring them up and have a conversation. Let them do their podium thing right now.
But only because we hate you specifically.
Yes. All right, here we go. Let's see. Caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink so far? Caller? Okay, that one's gone. All right, there was some kind of error. We'll get it now. I promise we'll have
Happens.
it. 2 calls came in at the same time, and I think I confused the thing. All right, here we go. Here's our caller. Let's make this happen. Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink so far?
My name is Jeff. I'm from Grand Rapids, and I've had not enough. But
your name is Jeff. You're from
that
Grand
being
Rapids, and you're
said-
not an alcoholic. Well played.
Well, no, okay, I didn't say that. But thank you, Ash, for thank you, Ash, for enabling me. But anyway, okay, so this game, I think that I want to point out one thing. After with Aubrey Pleasant being the coordinator of the passing game and the stuff that goes along with it, and this game being so dialed in as far as how they dealt with the game plan of the Packers, I think I understand why Aubrey Pleasant is no longer with the team. It's not so much how he, worked one-on-one with his staff or with the players. It's how, his portion of the game was frankly neglected. And I thought this was a substantial, kind of validation of that move. And frankly, Jerry looked pretty good out there. And I was pleased with that because Tina and I got our pictures with Jerry, and it was pretty awesome. We have them on our own. We have them up in our office.
Wait.
And it was great.
Where did you get those pictures taken with Jerry?
Holy cow. Maybe I got that at the training camp party at the Detroit Lions podcast training camp party. And don't remember to like, subscribe, and share. And frankly, I don't want to take this to a base level or anything, but Aaron Rodgers is a pussy-faced bag of shit. My God. I would hope.
What do you really think about him?
I think I just said that, Ash.
You definitely did.
All right, great men, great everything, and love what you guys do. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Appreciate you, Jeff. Thanks, man.
Yes, we do.
Oh God, that was great. Yeah, Jerry. And if you haven't seen Jerry Jacobs' interview at the training camp party, I'm telling you, go back on our YouTube. It was in August. You will see. It was fabulous. It was absolutely fabulous. Caller, turn down your audio quick before I put you on. It was incredible. He had a great interview. Dan Campbell or Dan Miller was great as well. The interaction and what Jerry brought was killer. It was an awesome interview. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink? And please turn your audio down in the background.
Jerry, I'm not drinking, so I got cut back to my liver. Let's go Lions. 3 interceptions and a sack. Let's go. Let's get some more W's.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful, Jerry, wasn't it?
Jimmy.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Jerry. Jimmy, how about that? At what point did you really, really feel the Lions had it in hand?
Probably after the 3rd interception. It just looked like Aaron Rodgers was about ready to start crying, too. I love that. I hope we can beat their ass again in Green Bay.
Yeah, I think this might be the first time we play them at the end of the year when they're not pulling players to save for the playoffs. This is going to be beautiful. This is going to be a knockdown drag out.
I hope there's lots of snow, and I hope it's a snow bowl. Make it real fun.
I think this is the thing, and I said it in the description. I wrote this last night. This game is the kind of game that if the Lions win, is really a backbreaker for a team like the Packers, because he can do the RELAX stuff and calm down. We got it. But not when you lose against the Lions, right? Not when you lose against the team that has the number 1 pick overall in the draft. They were stumbling and they came out, and this is a get right game for a team like that, and they got all wrong. They got all wrong. They're now going to have a crisis of confidence amongst their fans. Like, is it time to move on from Aaron Rodgers? And half of them, they're just going to say it's easy, move on, and they're going to believe it because they've had Hall of Fame quarterback play for 30 years. They have no idea what it's like to have Joey Harrington / Jordan Love throwing the ball for your team. So that's a whole pile of mess that they're going to have. And then their wide receivers, Dobbs, I mean Christian Watson, the drop machines together with Jordan Love, or even worse, they're going to have to draft somebody. They're in a bad way. This could be the regression to the mean of the Green Bay Packers and 30 years of just crap that they deserve, the suck that they deserve. And this may be for the Lions watching the Packers finally fall and not be this great team, this may be the yin to the yang that the Lions need to watch them finally make their ascent. I saw that Campbell and Jim Schwartz basically had the same record at this point. Jim Schwartz brought this team to the playoffs. I don't think there's anything in the way, particularly with the way the cap is set up. Oh, we got Jared Goff on the thing. Let's get him on really quick.
But he's a tremendous teammate and a guy that holds himself to the highest standard.
Hey, Jimmy, I'm gonna let you go, bro.
Yeah, we needed it. That's kind of been maybe the difference over the last handful of weeks is if we scored at some point, maybe we win those games previously, and we're able to put a drive together there. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes I think we got a defensive holding penalty that kind of extended that long drive there at the end, and that's how the game goes. And it happens on both sides, but that was I think it was 15-play drive and finishing in a touchdown there to James. It's the difference in the game, and it's huge.
We'll get to that, Jamison, I promise.
Yeah, it's exciting. Obviously, it's fun. It's really exciting, and I think those two guys specifically have been so consistent through time and have finally gotten their chance this week. And Shane's a guy that we've relied on for 2 years now at times, and then James kind of coming off his injury has kind of come into his own now, and so seeing them both through practice the last handful of weeks and then getting their chances today is exciting. Yeah, it's big. Yeah. Yeah, I think we kind of knew that was the way the game was going to have to go today. Their pass defense is top in the league, and their rush defense is towards the bottom. So we were going to attack that and certainly lean on Jamal there, especially at the end when we had the game in control a little bit, and getting some of those chunk plays there in that last drive, being able to run the clock, being able to let the clock go all the way down, and then snap it, and then run it for another 7. Those plays can demoralize the defense and finish games.
How about Jerry Jacobs giving the seatbelt gang speech to Aaron Rodgers at the end of the first half?
Yeah. Yeah, it's an uphill battle against these guys. Their defense is good, and I thought at times we knew that was the way the game was going to have to go, and I think what I'm most proud of is responding. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to throw a pick here and there. You're going to make a bad play. You're going to make a bad decision. But knowing that our defense was playing the way they are, how do we put one drive together and make a couple throws there for those guys, and it was a good way to finish that drive.
Back to your tight ends that made the most of their opportunity today. What did you see from them in practice that gave you confidence that you'd see that today?
They're just consistent. They're very consistent. They're very conscientious about where they're supposed to be, and understanding the play and understanding everything. And it's really good, man. It's a lot of fun to play with those guys.
Jared, in a game like this, after a week of so much turmoil, the coaching change, the trade, what does this do for a team as far as your confidence?
Yeah, it's big. Certainly big. Any win can boost our confidence. And sure, this week was tough, and it was coming off of a game where we had it in hand and we let it slip away, and it's always hard going back on Wednesday after those games, but. I'm so proud of these guys, man. It's so hard, and you guys don't make it any easier certainly. But it's so hard to continue to do that, and we just do. We'll never lay down, and I know there's teams across this league that will, and we're not one of them.
Is it hard to block out the noise sometimes, especially from younger guys? You have to tell them.
Sure, I think it's impossible for them, and it's impossible for a lot of us. It's on our phones, we're on our phones, and. It's just how do you handle it? Not let your guys' opinions matter, as much as you guys think they do.
Fucking Goff. I love him. That was the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, any other time, I think you're kind of holding your breath a little bit, but our defense was playing so well. We came off going, all right, they've been doing this the whole game. Just do it one more time. And sure, he had the nice play on the fourth down the field, and then you're kind of going, all right, like
how different is that?
And sure enough, they make their plays, and I think they had their best game of the year, obviously, and something that I know they'll build off of, and it's fun to be able to sit on the sidelines and watch that happen. It's really fun.
Just one more on Mitchell. I don't know where he was in the read progression on the touchdown, but also you went to him in that third and short situation
Yeah.
as well. So a lot of trust putting into a young player with very limited snaps shown. So what have you seen from him on the practice field? What do you think he can do in his offense going forward?
Same kind of thing I was talking about. He's just consistent, and he's where he's supposed to be, and he does it over and over again. And is he the fastest guy in the world? No, but he's a good route runner, and he's got good hands, and he's got good feel, and guys like that, you can make it work. And he's a good player, man. I don't know if who I would compare him to, who I've played with in the past, but he's kind of just good at everything, and he's still learning. He's a rookie, but a guy that we trust and trust his hands certainly, but trust him to be in the right spot. No.
Could you sense anything different from the defense this week, just a renewed attitude or anything that they took to this game today? I guess?
Not really. Those guys, like I said, those guys just fight, man. They come back every week and fight and do a great job.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Jared.
Awesome. Jared Goff with 2 wins today. That one about the media not being as important as they think they are was huge. That was a huge dunk, man. That's awesome.
Yep. The smile on his face when he said that, man. Just like, yup.
And it's so true, because it really is about how much they think they are. All right, that's that with the podium. We're gonna leave the podium B for the day now. We're gonna shut that down. So give us a call, 248-782-8384. 248-782-8384, or you can hit us up at via, what's that thing called? Oh, Skype. Detroit Lions Podcast is all one word. Detroit Lions Podcast. You can get your call on. We'll put you on the air. But yeah, a lot of talk in the chat about Aaron being a cult. It's my favorite. But go ahead. Why don't you take one and run with it, Aaron?
Okay, I'll go with the first one.
Sorry, I didn't insult you like that.
According to Fox's wonderful truck crew today, there were about 17 delay of game penalties, and I just want to get this out there. There was, according to a person who was actually in the stadium, who is in our Slack chat, we were like, hey man, what's going on here? There was one that was even close today.
It was 3rd and 17, and that one was, I'm telling you, it was. But the other ones, no.
Yeah.
All right.
Like
Caller.
the Fox clock was just wrong today.
Yep.
Like they were just, whoever's job that was, didn't do it today. That's why everybody thinks that there were like 20 delay of games that they missed.
Yep.
There's a ref whose only job pre-snap is to stare at the clock until it hits 0 and then look at the ball to see if it's moving. So the delay between hitting 0 and the flag going is literally the amount of time it takes you to like look up like this, look down like that. That's it. Just that little.
Yep.
That's all.
All right. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink so far? Hey, caller.
Hey, this is Billy. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can. How you doing, Billy?
Good. Yeah, haven't had any yet today, but probably gonna have a couple for the night game tonight. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Chris and Ash. I just want to say thanks for having the weekly therapy session for us fans. Not so much today, but I just wanted to point out a couple things late in the game. Who was that? C.J. Moore, who had that pass breakup. I think it was 3rd and 10 on the Packers' last drive, and he hit the little seatbelt move at the end there.
Yeah,
awesome, just awesome. Love that. The call on 4th down to go for it, kind of questionable, but I guess when you win, it's easy to kind of forget about that, but still a little iffy on that one. Yeah, great to see a win though. Love seeing Rodgers crying on the sideline, and just great to take one from the Packers. Love it. Love to see the win.
Yeah.
But I'll leave it at that. Appreciate what you guys do. Have a great week, guys.
Thank you, Billy. Appreciate that, man. I don't disagree with anything that you said.
Particularly not the part about how awesome we are.
You're not supposed to highlight that part. You just say let people go with it. That's all.
No.
Let's go. All right, we got another caller. Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink? Jamie. Yeah, and I owe you a message. I got you, bro. Trust me, I see you there. I'm just trying to get to it. St. Jude, pies in the face coming up. Yep, I will get that site set up tonight or tomorrow. I will do it. Oh, Cooper Kupp with a huge reception for the Rams. Sorry. Yeah, I will get that set up tonight or tomorrow so that we can start doing the pies in the face piece, because I think that's crucial. It's really the crucial catch in your face is really the important thing that we're after here, right? Well, shoes on the other foot, eh? Oh.
Nobody can hear him, Chris.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so yes.
Hello?
Sorry, I got you back. And no one else
All
could hear you.
right.
That was my fault. So Jamie was asking about
okay.
the pies in the face for St. Jude, and his kids get to finally are just chomping at the bit to be able to smash his face in with some pies. And we're gonna get that site up and running here in the next day or two, so that folks can get their shot at the pies in the face to help raise money for St. Jude. So.
And this year I will be matching all of our viewers pie for pie.
Ash's pie run.
Ash,
Bring it. Give me 60. Let's do this.
Ash, I think I owe you 10 from last year. Think of when we were putting on all the sweaters and everything last year. I think I said if you got the tattoo, I would take 10 to the face for you.
Well, by waiting,
I didn't get the tattoo, so but I didn't do it at the draft party. So I'm gonna let this one slide. Just add those 10 to what you were gonna do this year, and then I can add 10. So we're already at 20.
Yeah, he's already got a match. This has worked out great.
Awesome. I only have one question from the game that I want to hear you guys' thoughts on. Was this our defense stepping up, or was this the Packers losing basically a fifth of their team to injury during the course of the game?
Yes. So I think we agree. Both of those were, I think, equally important.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, and because they're both important, I don't want to undercut either one. But that defense definitely stood up. Jerry made a huge difference out there. I mean, you saw as you talked about with the seatbelt gang as they walked. God, who was it? It wasn't Jerry that did it. Why am I losing it?
DJ Moore, I think, did it.
Thank you.
I think Moore did it in the end zone.
Yes, and
that was cool to see. That was cool to see that more than just him is picking up on it and running with it.
And I'll tell you, if you watch the game, you'll see Jerry out there, not just playing. And this is something that of course I watch Jerry, right? He's no guy.
Yeah.
But he's out there. There's a point when he's fixing Anzalone's shoulder pad. His jersey's caught up. He's fixing that. He's out there. He was so tuned in, not just to himself and the players he's playing against, to the entire defense, that he's working and talking and doing. He was there in his entirety. He was present in that game. And it was really something to see, just the awareness he had across the field, not just in his play, not lost coming back, not overwhelmed. And as much as I wanted to see him a month ago, I think there's a lot to the fact that he got to rest up and be entirely healthy and interact with the team. CJ Moore doing the seatbelt gang, he's been interacting, he's been ramping those guys up in the locker room. And I just think what you're getting from this guy is a heck of a lot more than a good corner. A great corner, potentially. We'll see more games. Go ahead, bro.
Do you think going into next year that he's going to be a starter opposite of Okuda?
Yeah, that's where I think he lands.
I hope so.
I was thinking that or nickel. If we pick somebody up in free agency or something like that and then put him in nickel.
And Ash, correct me, I think it's going to be easier to pick up somebody new to play nickel corner than it is to play outside corner in free agency or elsewhere.
Cheaper.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they don't get paid as much.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and it's a less less premium skill set. Like you can't buy a number 1 corner in free agency. They just don't get there. So even if you're paying for a number 1 corner, you're getting a number 3 corner most of the time.
The only reason why I thought Jacobs would be good at the nickel is because he's so freaking yoked up, and they like to put that pressure from the box with their corner position, having him as like a sub linebacker type rushing corner type person. He would be able to work in the box and hold the run game down a little bit better than somebody that's a little more slight in size. That was the only thought behind having him as the starting nickel next year.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
Like he lays the wood, but I mean, we need our outside corners to do that too. Like if you just look at Jerry and think like 80% Okuda, is that a bad place to be for your other side corner? Like I'll take 8 tackles a game instead of 12.
Right.
I'm cool with that.
And the hits that the two of them put on. Oh my God! Can you imagine two beast mode beat down corners? I mean,
and then put Walker back there again.
Yeah. I mean, Walker. Yeah, you got a ball hawk in Kirby. You got just a man annihilator in Tracy Walker. No one's gonna want to go. No one's gonna want to catch a ball, right? No one's gonna want to catch the ball because they're gonna be terrified of what's coming next. Woo! Love it.
For sure. Well, guys, I'll let you get back to it. I just want to put my name out there so you guys, so somebody doesn't forget about me again this week and get the ball rolling.
I got you, Jamie. Thank you. All right. See you, man. All right. Oh, I just missed the other call. All right. 2487. There we go. Man, they just roll. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink so far?
Don't really drink, but
that's okay. It's okay. It's good for you. It's a admirable position to have. What's your name?
Definitely. I just wanted to call in to see how you guys felt about that 4th down call by Campbell. Personally, I felt like he did a lot better job with that. Like in Minnesota, kind of the same situation, takes the field goal, we can't lose ball. Here, I think just the play call wasn't great, but just wondering if you guys' thoughts were on that.
Yeah, I'm not. I have no problem with going for it on 4th down. I actually thought the 3rd down play call was worse than the 4th down play call. To be honest with you, I don't mind going for it on 4th, but that was just a real mess out there. They didn't execute, and it seems like that with the Lions. It's a consistent kind of somebody somewhere isn't executing, whether it's a coach or a player or something, and that's what is tripping them up. I'll have to say though, if I look at Dan Campbell's first 3 games versus the last 2 games, he's definitely progressed. He's definitely grown, and whether it's putting people in to help him see things that he wasn't seeing, whatever it is, I'm seeing a growth in him. And we knew we had a rookie head coach. All I want to see progression. With the young players, I want to see him progress. I want to see him getting better. I want to see some indication of what this group is going to be and what this core is going to be and what the potential is. That's really what I'm looking for in the team. Even like when I start looking at what it could be, here's their plan. Can they get there? Okay, cool. That's what I care about. Today, I'm not as worried about. It's year 2. We knew they weren't going to be a great team this year. But what are we seeing as far as the consolidation of the team, the coaching, the quality, the improvement, and the trajectory? Because what is it, 5 picks in the first 2 rounds next year? Something like that?
I think so. Well, that might be less now with them going down, but yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, the Rams are doing everything they can to help us get a better pick. Even if we wind up picking 8th overall, right? The Rams pick looks like it might be right around there as well. We're going to get great players. In the first 2 rounds, you should. And I don't want to hear about the second round curse. I know that they haven't done well historically. I get that, but Josh Pascal's showing that up. But you should have starters with all of those picks. All those picks in the first
Brad
2
Holmes
days.
Is, showing that everybody is.
Yeah. And if you get 5 players that are all starters, I mean that's half of one side of the ball that you have started. Now they're all rookies; they're going to make rookie mistakes. But to put that number of starters on the field on this team and have the guys like JMO coming back from injury and having the other thing, I mean, it looks good for next season, right? I mean, you look like you're in pretty decent shape, even if Goff is here. Is he here? I don't know yet. I mean, today was a tough day for Goff, even in the win. I think my wind is blowing. Goff isn't the guy. I'm getting a sense that maybe he's not. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But even with Goff, I mean, he's run a hell of an offense, and with them kind of tools out there, healthy, and you suddenly, build up the defense and give him support on the defensive side of the ball, you might be able to win some games. I mean, we won with 15 points today. There's nothing wrong winning with 15 points. That's a defense that came in, and, Aaron Rodgers' mistakes, but he doesn't make mistakes just solely on his own. The defense helped force those mistakes. And frankly, I think we had a really good showing by a defense that everybody wrote off already this year. So I probably gave you a lot more than you asked for, caller.
No, definitely. And kind of just go with the Goff thing. I think that 30 million, whatever it ends up being price tag really makes that decision kind of more business than anything, to be honest. But thanks so much, and you guys have a great day.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you. Appreciate you calling in. All right.
On that, it's only if you got something else to spend it on, and there's a QB there in the first round. You know what I mean? Like, that's depending on where we do end up drafting. Like, if we're 8th and 3 go in the top 5, no.
Right.
F no.
You got to remember, you've got to get a quarterback that's better than the one you've got now. Just replacing him to replace him is not the move. We did a lot of Joan Harrington years. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Brandon down here on Down Under.
Brandon. All right. Now, I just want to clear up because I know Brandon hasn't been drinking, and we had a couple people. This is not like a beat your chest kind of a question, right? This just helps us level set who we're talking to and what we're talking about, right? This is so when we ask how much someone's had to drink, it's really about establishing the level of conversation we're about to have. So, Brandon, how you doing, brother?
Well, let me tell you something. If I was in one of those skyrockets, I'd be looking at the moon face first. I mean, I tell you what, I do not have a very good connection, so I'm just going to have to run through a couple of things and ask you guys a couple of questions to go off on. If you can hear me okay. I got like an internet sound that's kind of crazy. I don't know what it is, but first of all, I just wanted to open up and say, we can and we will. It only took 8 games, but we finally did it.
We will eventually. Eventually was the word you left out of there.
Yeah, there you go. Listen, this reminds me of the year of 2010.
Yeah.
And I know Stafford was out in the first game, and he was the main cog that we missed all year. Went through 4 quarterbacks, but at this time, at that year, we were 2-8. And then we didn't get our second win until this time of the year. So what was going on? Fans were going on the same way as they are nowadays. Oh, we got to get rid of Schwartz. Oh, we got to get rid of this guy. Oh, this guy's a bum. So on and so forth. We only had one guy that was producing really, and that was Sue. And, unfortunately, Hutch has not been that good, but he has been also doing his best with what he has next to him. But I will say this. Later on, they started getting better. They got more their rookies starting to play.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, they ripped off 4 wins at the end of the season, and that's not for another month. So let's see what happens. We got the Bears next week.
Brandon, how much crying?
So
how much crying about draft picks was there?
Go ahead.
How much crying about draft picks were there at the end of 2010? I just want to get the prelude here.
Oh man, yes. I mean, buckets and buckets of tears, man. It was just going on and on and on, and so on and so forth. Same old arguments, same second round picks. Oh my goodness, we got forget this, man. Here we go again, and so on and so forth. I will say this: I slightly disagree dealing with the idea of getting a cornerback over a nickelback, because I think Jerry Jacobs can play nickel. He is that muscle guy down the middle. And I read a description of this kind of defense that they are playing, and they said a nickel is a such and such a kind of guy that's a very physical, man-up guy. And I brought that to Jeff Risman's attention, and he said Jerry Jacobs is that guy. So we get ourselves another cornerback in the draft. We'll have 2 young guys back there on rookie deals. Then we'll have Jerry Jacobs on a rookie deal. And then we will build around them. And then I don't know, that lends to this question. If we are not picking in the top 5, then do you guys think we should go defense with both picks, this one and the Rams? Or should we combine and try and get at least Stroud? Because, frankly, I'm not a believer in Bryce Young. I'm like Riston. I think he's too small.
Yeah.
I think the NFL will beat him up. But anyway, that's just some of the things I got, guys. Holmes, man, you can tell he's going for the long game, and I think he's winning it. Let's see if he can putt it and get it ourselves in the game. Talk to you guys later, man. It's great.
Love
Take
it,
care.
Brandon. Thank
Bye-bye.
you, brother. All right, there you go.
These ones are so much more fun, man.
Brandon brings a good take. I like the idea of the 2010 Lions piece. I also like the idea of, look, if we don't pick in the top 5, going all defense, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really don't, because at that point you're not going to get a difference making quarterback. And frankly, if you're looking for him at that point, you want to do free agency. You want to find a way to do a trade to get the guy you want.
Yeah. Like the QBs outside the top 5 that succeed are the ones that go to teams that are good. And like, despite today's brilliant, spectacular performance by our team that had no holes in it, that we were perfectly happy with every aspect of course. Like, this is still not a great team. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like
the trajectory's right, but we're not.
Yeah.
We're not. We're not terminal
It's not
velocity.
a guy walking into a playoff team. You know what I mean? Like, that's not where we're at yet. So as far as taking like a QB in the second half of the first round, or even outside the top 10, let's say, how about no?
Yeah. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
Hi, my name's Mark. I am a first-time caller and first-time listener of your podcast. I haven't had anything to drink, sadly.
It's okay. Welcome, Mark. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just wondering about the Green Bay's. They've been holding the ball, like, delay a game. There should have been like at least 10 to 15 delay a game penalties for them. I don't know why.
This is a great point, and this is something that I think so. Based on the information that everyone watching this game had on TV, you're 100% right. You are 110% right. You're not wrong at all. And this is something that frustrates the snot out of me. Fox in particular is absolutely ass of syncing their countdown with the actual play clock in the game. And we had somebody in the Slack chat who was at the game and watching the clock for us, and they were like, no, they weren't delaying games, they weren't at all. So the TV,
even one.
There was one, and it was at 3rd and 17, and they shouldn't have had that drive at all. But and that's me just being adamant, because I counted like 49 seconds after it hit 0. It had to be a delay game. I mean, I wasn't at the game to see it, but it was long enough that kind of differential would be criminal from Fox to be that far off.
Yeah.
So what we saw
crazy.
was wrong, but what we saw, if it was right, you're absolutely right. We'd be pounding the table over that.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like several instances in which it was, you could watch from their plays that it's 2-3 seconds after when the clock hit 0.
Yep. And
they should have counted that.
The most
it's just not the real clock.
The most frustrating part. You watch the Olympics, for example, or skiing, right? They get you to the 100th of the second.
Yeah.
You get the right timing right away. Why is it that the NFL, and this is me putting on my tinfoil conspiracy hat, the whole thing. Why is it the NFL takes something as objective as time and makes it subjective? Oh, well, he watches the clock and then he looks down to see if it's moving, so he could be off by a partial second on the play. It's like, okay, then why can't you at least make the thing on TV that everyone's watching right? That's easy to sync that. It's easy to sync that. Why is it not synced and not correct? It's terrible.
And follow me on this one. The NBA has a shot clock where there is a buzzer that literally goes off if you don't get it done in time. How hard would that be to set up?
Yeah, it's in like tenths of a
Not even
second.
slightly.
Mm-hmm.
It's in tenths of a second.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh, we could just, it's fine. We could just keep playing. It's 0. Is anybody watching? No.
My tinfoil hat says because there's everything they need to make that right. There's everything they need to make the spot of the football right. When we interviewed Zebra Technologies at Senior Bowl, last year, where they talked about how closely they can monitor the ball. The NFL is citing tradition as the reason that they didn't want to laser spot the ball like that. But the more and more you let the whole kind of sports betting piece into it, and the more you let these objective things become subjective, the more it casts doubt on the transparency of the sport. And I think, I'm not saying that it's rigged, I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying they have the prime opportunity and all the technology to make it so we can be sure that it's not. And the fact that they're not doing that just raises the flag of question, right? And I'm a kind of guy that always I'm skeptical. I'm a natural skeptic, and when they could fix it and make it a clear, fix, and they don't. They want the controversy, they want the press that it generates, or something else more sinister. But they want it. It's not because they can stop it if it mattered to them, and it doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, because it's like for the, they just want something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, give them something to talk about.
Because the game isn't exciting.
Yeah. Oh man, the
Sometimes it's
game
not.
was hilarious, especially when they threw it over the end zone. When they threw it over the end zone and it was interception, and I thought the first one was hilarious right at the end zone. But when they did it for a second time, it was even more hilarious.
Yeah.
So it was a really fun game.
Yeah.
And so it's nice talking to you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate you calling, man. Thanks for giving us a shot, listening, and giving a call. All right. We'll talk to you, man. All right, another caller. Good stuff. Callers are just bouncing the lines hard right now. We'll get to each of you. I want to yell back at Jameson Hennessy. Thank you, brother, for the sweet super chat earlier. That was really kind of you. And you're our guy, man. We love you. All right. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink? Hello, caller. Okay. Sleepy caller. We'll pick in another one. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
Chris, you sexy queen. How you doing, man? This is Chuck. Chuck Cabra.
Oh.
How you doing, Ash? I miss you guys, man. You look fucking beautiful after a win, and hey, riding this way.
We look beautiful all the time.
I haven't had anything for Norton, Aaron Rodgers tears right now, and I'm gonna put whatever I have left over on eBay. Probably get some money from Detroit.
Yes, sir.
How are you guys doing, man?
Now that you're here, everything's grand, brother.
It's a wonderful
I
day.
miss the shit out of you, man. Miss the shit out of you.
You too.
I'm not going to give you a hard time when we lose. We're going to have some good old rational conversation. Oh, Lord Almighty. Feeling good, man. Feeling good. So, hey, I wanted to call in and a couple different things that crossed my mind during the game today.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have touched on these a lot to some extent. But as far as like Campbell's progression as a coach, I like paying attention to some of the subliminal shit that's gone wrong in the past.
Yeah.
Challenges, right?
Yeah.
He got the message to throw that vital challenge in a couple seconds.
Yeah.
He had that challenge flag out, and that was so pivotal in the game. And that was something that's strong. What game was that? Was it Cowboys?
Minnesota
or something where he didn't have communication down or something.
But you're so right. And the thing is, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I do want to jump in because the challenge there was one of the things where you got Dan Campbell, who, okay, we have a known gap or a known place where they're a little slow and not quite getting it out. And then you're also playing a team in a quarterback and Aaron Rodgers that will get that team and they know the situation. They will get the team to the line and fire off the next play before you have a chance to even think about it. And we watched a kind of bumbly, stumbly Dan Campbell from before who, I don't know whether to do it, to beat one of the best at stopping you from getting your challenge in. That's huge. That's a huge difference in capability and a huge growth on the part of Dan Campbell. Growth on Dan Campbell. Oh no, good at exercise. But it's a huge growth from him.
Yeah, man. And the other thing, I don't take the bait with some of the like the clickbait on another note with like AP's firing and stuff. I'm of the opinion that when Campbell fired Anthony Lynn last year, he let him stay on the staff. That was amicable and stuff. I think that there was a little bit of going rogue involved. There's definitely things that we just don't know about that situation. But I can tell you this, the secondary, communication when it comes to like challenge flags, which was a problem in the past, communication in the secondary today. Now, I'm not impressed by Green Bay's wide receivers. I don't think we should put, the cart in front of the horse with our defensive performance today against them. But at the same time, it was impressive, and we had very few, if any, no huge communication breakdowns in the secondary that have cost us dearly all year. And so whatever is being emphasized, through this process of, firing AP, I like the dude personally, but, I just think, hey, man, we're grinding. This is year two. These, our coaches are young, and I like to see improvement. And yeah, man, I was kind of digging today.
That communication in the secondary piece, I think you nailed it. And again, I was talking about Jerry out there fixing Ancelone's jersey on the shoulder pad. He was up there, and I don't remember where it was. He was yelling at the safeties and doing a little quarterbacking on the defense from the corner position. He was on from the camera view. He was on the left side. He was on the top of the field. But he was out there. He was tuned in, man. And I know he's not the green dot guy, but he was tuned in and communicating out there. Again, I think about the amount of time that he had where he was probably healed enough to play but didn't play, and working with the guys and talking with the guys. I think there's something that's kind of under the surface started forming here, and I think it's going to start showing up. We'll see how it goes as the season goes on. But you are absolutely right. The communication of those guys in the secondary. Kirby goes out, right? Okuda goes out. We didn't give up. Any other year, Rodgers would have dropped an 80-yard pass instantly on whoever went out, right?
On Ife Melifonwu. He would have dropped it on Ife Melifonwu.
Yeah. And nothing. I mean, I'm impressed. This is, and again, look, Watson and Doubs and Lazard are not like the wide receivers that are going to fly off the shelves, the local wide receiver market, but they're NFL receivers playing with Aaron Rodgers delivering the ball. No better first game back for this group, or first game for Jerry, and kind of to reset this defense after Aubrey Pleasant, who also is an awesome dude. After he's gone, and to get their kind of feet under them. This was kind of a real perfect situation for them to sink or swim, show what they have, and really show up. This is a huge confidence builder for them. And I haven't said much about Aubrey Pleasant just because I met his dad at training camp, and his dad was such a cool dude, such a class cat. I'm sad that he's not here and that it didn't work out. I wish him the very, very best. But it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's going to land on his feet.
Yeah.
So, all things said, yeah. But who knows what happened behind behind closed doors? Yeah. And I think fans are quick to say it did look like I understand the aesthetics of it, where it's like, oh, Dan Campbell's trying to save his job and he needs a scapegoat. But honestly, I feel like I'm a pretty good judge of people. I don't know Dan Campbell, but the one thing about him that I can say is that he's authentic. You can like it or not like him, but he's not gonna just I don't know. I don't think he's gonna fire somebody that means a lot to his DC and other people on the team just to save his own ass. I think he's a guy that will go down with the ship.
Yep.
And there was something that probably went down there, in my opinion. But who knows, man? I just dug the communication. The most impressive part of the secondary for me was the fact that we had those injuries, and I'm like, how so Detroit for Okuda and Kirby Joseph to knock themselves out of the game as Rodgers is storming down the field and we've got a lead at home. I'm like, oh my God, this couldn't be any worse. But the most impressive thing was that when Jay Moore got off the bench and he plugged and played and he read that play perfectly. And these are guys that DJ Moore just came into the fold, back into the fold. And I mean, that communication, not just on our first stringers, it just seemed everything was more fluid today and everybody was on the same page more. And that's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah.
Sorry to monopolize your time. I appreciate the hell out of both of you guys.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate the call. Love the love. And we'll talk to you again soon. All right.
You gotta love the love.
Absolutely.
All right, Ash, I love you too, buddy.
All right. We'll see you.
Kisses, man.
All right.
Great call.
There we go. All right. Let's get another one in here. Let's see. Really quick, I want to hit before we get to the call, I want to hit the chat real quick. Lions are now 6-5 in their last 11 against Green Bay. That's not bad. That's not bad. Also, Andrew, is an injury update on Kirby following the biggest game so far. 10 tackles, 2 interceptions. Yeah, they said he is in concussion protocol. As crappy as that is, he is in the concussion protocol. And then we'll get the caller here, but really quick, don't forget to like. While you're watching, just hit the like button. We appreciate when you do that. That means a lot. Helps people find it. And also, if you subscribe, you can see all this content, including the TJ Hutchinson Insider content I put out earlier this week. And it sounds like some other confirmation pieces are coming out. Oh, my God, Chris, you did have a good source. Oh, my. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
Hi, guys. My name is Ivars. My question to you guys is, how about a shout out to the GM? I mean, we had excellent performance by our rookies. And the guy responsible for the rookies is the GM.
Mm-hmm.
How about a comment on that?
I've been rambling a lot, so I'm going to hand the mic to Ash, just so he feels like it was worthwhile showing up today.
I get to talk now. Cool.
Sorry.
Yeah, honestly, if you look at what has happened with the players that he drafted, like other than getting derailed by injuries, have any of the high picks really failed? And like, granted, he's taken a couple high-risk guys in that space, and predictably, when you do that, some of them drop off. But the guys who get on the field, like, this defense has completely changed since Pascal came on.
Yeah.
And I kept hearing from the beat writers who were there talking about how he was going to come in and revolutionize the 3 technique spot. And I was like, the guy weighs 270 pounds, man. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is an edge rusher who put up an elite relative athletic score. Like, he's in the 9.6, 9.7 range.
Really quick, Ash, what was it that Goff said about the beat writers today?
I believe it was, I'm just going to paraphrase a little bit here, but y'all's opinion don't matter. STFU.
As much as you think it does. Okay, go ahead. I just want to get that in there. It's a good point for it. Go ahead.
But yeah, like, just look at how many guys have come on. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was so mad after the draft that we didn't take a wide receiver in the first couple rounds last year. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown comes on. And what was it? Was it 10 straight games, including this season, with 8 or more catches before he missed a game with injury? Like, granted, maybe you shouldn't use a guy that much, and that might kind of be why he got hurt. But just the fact that he was capable of that performance after being drafted in the 4th round is insane. Then this year we got Rodrigo. You know what I mean? Barnes popped up today. And I mean, when he was drafted, we knew he was going to take a bit, because that's not a guy who had been playing linebacker since he was 15. You know what I mean? Like, he just switched that year. So it was going to take a while for him to get going, but Rodrigo goes down in the first quarter, and we're all thinking, oh no, that's like our only good player. And then Barnes comes in, causes an interception with his face, gets a sack, blows up a bunch of run plays. Like, just exactly what you want to see from that player when he gets his shot, you know? And like, it just, like, have some faith, man. You know, like, a couple weeks ago, all of us, myself included, were kind of in a place where we were all kind of thinking, oh no, I'm seeing the signs of it, man. I've seen this game a bunch of times. I've seen this play out a certain way. And like, I think we all need to just get off it on this one, because these guys are doing things the right way to eventually be successful in Detroit. They're not trying to buy wins early. Like, that's what tanked Martin Mayhew. He couldn't build through the draft, so he had to bring in, like, as much as I love Glover Quinn, maybe if you drafted more than one safety in your entire tenure as a GM, you don't have to sign that guy. You know what I mean? Like, Quinn ended up working out, but how many guys didn't, who were signed on that same level, just coming in and they were kind of starters elsewhere? You know what I mean? Like, this guy is trying to build this the way you have to win as the Detroit Lions right now, with our decades of negative thoughts that we've put into these players' heads about coming to Detroit. You know what I mean? Like the guys you get to come here in free agency until we start winning are the guys you don't want to have, if that makes sense. Like they're just coming for a check.
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense, and I think that the thing is that the guys that a couple of weeks ago we were saying that the GM can't draft. Well, he's drafting well because the we don't want to win this year. I mean, that's why they got 5- and 6-year contracts.
Yeah, I don't think it's that they don't
to win this year.
Yeah, I don't think it's that they don't want to win. I think that
I agree with that.
They're going to play their best, and they want to get the best out of these players to both build the culture in the locker room, because that's a long-term thing, and then also truly evaluate the talent, see who they have, and see what difference they make on the field. I'm gonna pound on Jerry. You guys know, being friends with Jerry, seatbeltgang.com, get on the crew, that whole thing. But Jerry was a difference maker out there. It's not just his grit, it's not just his attitude. It was the whole package that Jerry brought out there today, and he changed the defense where he impacted it, and he lifted the rest of the players on the field. Anyone that was around him felt the lift that Jerry brought out there. That kind of thing, and they didn't think they were going to get the wins this year, but I think they know that they are going to see who they have, what they have, and continue to evaluate. And you're right on Brad Holmes on getting the talent. And we're seeing the coaches develop the talent and grow these guys. And we're seeing Brad Holmes bring in talent that is developable and players that have the athletic skills to play those roles. And I think that combination of items can only lead the team to success eventually. It was a shite show with what that roster looked like when Bob Quinn left, and there's no way it's a 1 or 2 year turn. I know Ash's big thing, and I didn't disagree with it. And I don't know that I disagree with it now, but it takes 2 years. After 2 years, you know if your rebuild's gonna work or not. And I think I agree. But I think how you evaluate whether it's going to work or not has changed for me from when he originally said that, and I nodded vociferously, to now, because I think my evaluation criteria has probably changed on what a working rebuild is going to be. And I don't think those wins are necessarily as big a part of it now as I think they were previously. Does that make sense, Ash, to you?
It does make sense, but I just disagree. Which is fine. Bad. Like this is entirely an opinion-based discussion. There's no empirical evidence for us to draw on. You know what I mean? But I still think you don't get to 5 wins. You didn't do anything this year in that regard, as far as rebuilding goes. Like you lost as much as you gained, basically, because that's just you pulled out a couple games you didn't pull out last year.
Yeah,
in my opinion, like it's all of the games have been close. All of the games are always going to be close, except for the 1 or 2 a year that are disgusting blowouts where somebody just didn't show up that day for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's if you don't start closing those out like they did today, because yes, the Packers lost a bunch of guys to injuries, but how many games have we done that and people were still calling for Dan Campbell's head when we lost those games? Like you can't talk out both sides of your face on that one. If we should have still won games despite losing our entire secondary, they should have still beat us today despite losing half of their wide receivers and a bunch of other guys. You know what I mean?
I think there's just a historical perspective to it too. I mean, when you have a roster that's proven itself, we haven't had a roster that's proven itself in 4 years. And 4 years ago, it definitely got worse from where it was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So more to see. So is
hey
it
guys?
One
last thing. I wanted to ask you guys about the TJ Hutchinson trade and your thoughts on whether or not it would have been better to keep him and get the 3rd round compensatory pick, or moving up the 40 or 50 spots that we did in the draft, because that's what we basically did. We moved up 40 or 50 spots in both drafts. Yep. Maybe you don't want to answer this now, and maybe in a subsequent podcast, but what do you think?
Let me, and it's Evars,
you already
right?
did a whole video on this one, Chris.
I know.
Yes.
I want to touch that. Evars, I'm going to let you go while we explain this, all right?
All right, I'm going to hang up.
All right, thank you, brother. Appreciate you calling, man. Appreciate it. All right.
Otherwise, I'm just going to talk over him anyway, so that's probably a good idea.
So let me just, because there's people that didn't see it, and they really should be looking at the videos. They should be in the Slack, really, because the Slack is where all the smart takes and dust comes.
Like, the video's free.
Yeah.
Like, you got to pay to talk to me in the Slack. Like, don't unless you got $5, go away. But I'll talk to you if you got $5.
Hutchinson didn't want to be here, and I've seen a few more pieces. It's starting to leak, and I'm seeing the confirmation coming out from the team. I was the first.
I called that last year, looking at his face on the field as he walked back to the huddle after getting thrown into his 4th murder ball of the game. You know what I mean? Like, he quit. He was done. That second, I said it, you do not get your look on that face and come back as a productive member of this team ever. You know what I mean?
And
like,
from
that
the
was
inside,
hate.
from
That
the
was
inside,
hate and sadness.
From the inside, we brought it and we talked about it. And Hutchinson, love him, hate him, the play, none of it matters. He didn't like Goff. Goff didn't like him. That's something that'll probably come out more as things go on. But as I said, he'd given up. He wasn't practicing. He wasn't doing it. This was not his team. He wasn't going to produce. Could you keep him, your 5th-year option? Sure. But why would you do that for someone that doesn't like you? Could you franchise him? Sure. But why would you do that for someone who doesn't like you? Oh my God! Why would you spend all that money and capital on a player that doesn't want to be on your team? I mean, we saw that with Stafford, who at an absolute key position, right? You just have to move on. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Everyone talks about the Calvin Johnson hatred between the team, and don't put it in that situation. Don't let that situation even happen. You trade him, you get value out of him, and you move on. And you don't think twice about it. Hawk had his own person. That's where his head was at. That's where his head was at. Fine. Okay, move on. We'll hear more, and this will come out more. But I'm just telling you right now, that's why the Hawk trade makes the most sense. No matter where he goes, you get the most value. Ash, I'll let you go with the rest of the answer question.
The one thing I want to talk about that it seems like a bunch of professional people who get paid to do things like this don't seem to understand is there was never a compensatory pick coming. Because in order for there to be a compensatory pick that comes back, you have to not sign anybody that year. And at the point where TJ Hawkinson wasn't going to be here anymore, I hope to God we're signing players if we're not re-signing our own, as opposed to starting another rebuild, because that's what's happening if we're not signing more players, is everybody who's in this group got fired and we've brought in new people. You know what I mean? There is no compensatory pick. People need to get that out of their heads. Like, there was no going to, like, that just was never happening.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah.
We are going to be buyers after TJ Hawkinson's 5th year comes up.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. So this is the only way we get anything for him.
Yep. And the amount of money that he's going to want is not going to be worth it. He may be a rental for Minnesota. He may well be because of their cap situation. We'll see how that plays out. But he might
9 catches today. They're going to keep him.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they're going to play that money.
9 catches for 80 yards. Yeah. So
we'll
tell me you couldn't just chuck it to anybody to get that.
Yeah. We'll see where he goes. But WMW2, at some point, I can't blame the players. Losing sucks. Absolutely,
it does.
Yeah. You beat. I mean, he's 4 years in and he's had enough, right?
I ain't mad.
No,
I get it. Like, he got drafted. He had Patricia for years.
Yeah.
And then had these 2 seasons of losing. But I also think, like, it was addition by subtraction. We got how many touchdowns does TJ Hawkinson have for the Lions this year? Was it like 3?
Something like that. Yeah.
We got 2 out of tight ends today because they just went and did what the coaches asked them to do and didn't ask questions.
And didn't get paid. Both of them got paid less than Hawk would.
Yeah.
Both of them together. All right. Hey, caller. What's your name? BZski, really quick. On Decker, I wouldn't book that about his face right now. Just to say about Decker and his feeling on the team. Hey, caller, how much have you had? And what's your name?
Hey, it's Ben from the UP, and I'm getting shit-faced.
There's my spirit animal. How you doing, Ben?
This is like a Super Bowl for us UP folks, because a lot of people don't understand up here, but the rivalry up here is just, it burns deep, because like a lot of downstairs don't know how many Packer fans are up here. Like, the UP is divided.
Yeah.
Like, there's as many Packer fans, or if not more, than there are Lions fans. So lot of people don't realize that, and it's crazy. But we, yeah, very pantsless, very happy today. Wasn't even going to drink today. Me and my buddy were over, and we just getting shit faced all over again.
UP starts always,
Yeah,
we're not even going to drink today.
yeah.
Next thing you know, we're two 12 packs in.
An area after
yeah.
my own heart.
Yeah,
Ben.
just
Sounds like where
living
I'm from too.
Hey, what part of UP are you from, Ben?
Well, I'm from Ishpeming. It's Marquette's probably the biggest city.
So you know,
I guess if you, can call it that, like
my
from-
hangout, Waters Meat, then, right? It's just down on.
That's what you said. After I hung
yeah.
up a couple weeks ago, you were from Waters Meat, you've been to Waters Meat.
Spent time there regularly. Yeah, there.
Went to a camp out there. Yeah.
I went to a concert
you
in
ever come up,
Escanaba one
get a
time.
hold of me, man.
When we went up there
Yeah,
one time,
okay,
and we were
okay.
staying in Waters Meat, and we heard there was a concert that's going on in Escanaba, so we rolled on down. It was really weird for like a South Michigan person at the time,
Probably at
right?
the casino there.
Yeah, just rolling up and doing our outdoors thing, and then hearing, oh yeah, let's go to the concert. We showed up. It was just like a real juxtaposition. Anyway, let's talk Lions, Ben. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going great. Like I say, just been pantsless and living the dream, and I'm still riding the high. My buddy was over. Like I say, we were hungover. Like I say, went from not even going to drink today to just my jackalope, the bar in my basement. It smells like beer farts and victory down here. It's a magical feeling.
Yep.
Welcome to Detroit.
Lyric from one of my favorite songs. Yesterday we drank too much. Let's do it again.
Oh man!
Yeah,
oh,
I just
man.
loved it. Everything. Like I wanted to say, it just like I've been telling my buddies, Lions won today, but more importantly, the Packers lost to the Lions. That's the biggest victory of the day.
Yeah.
We are who we didn't think we would be.
Yeah, I think we got a quote from the presser.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Oh wait, Deuce, what's the check in?
They got their fucking teeth pulled this week and their ass kicked at the same time.
All right, Deuce.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I had about 1,000 things I probably could talk about today. I don't know, probably be my best call or worst call ever. But I don't know. But I love seeing Rodgers throw. I don't know. When's the last time he threw 3 interceptions in a game? That was just like crack to me.
I don't think. Did they say
Aaron Rodgers' pouty face is like crack to me. That's my drug of choice.
I heard something. Didn't they say he hadn't thrown 2 before in a game? Is that what Olsen said in the game today?
I don't know.
I thought
it had to be early in his career. They brought it up during the game. I don't remember what they said, but it'd been a long time. I know that.
I know later in the game they said there's been entire seasons where he threw 3 interceptions.
Right. That's what I said earlier. Yeah.
Yep.
He matched that in today. That was great. Oh my God. He was just he was out there throwing fits like my 2-year-old. It was great.
It was awesome.
I'm still soaking it in, still riding the high, like I say.
This is my kind of call. Like, because we can talk about football, but every now and then you just want to take a moment and say,
"Yep,
goddamn right, this is beautiful. This feels good, right?" And we've done. I mean, Ash, it's been so long since we've done a show together after victory. I mean, I guess Washington, right? But before, I mean, there's
But
so
not
few
one
and
last
far
year.
between. It's like, man, this just feels so good. And for it to be against the Packers, this is just so good, so good. So everyone, just take a moment. Take a deep breath and say, yeah, we just slobber knockered the Green Bay Packers, and that feels good. That feels real good. All right. Hey, Ben, we're going to let you go. We got
Like I
people
say,
banging
it's
on the
so-
number. Go ahead.
it's
Go
so-
ahead. Get your last point here.
Just real quick. Like I say, it's so like one of my best friends, you stood in my wedding. He and I texted. We always have little. He was just trolling me all week, and I didn't say a word. I played the patient game. And then today he's just like, oh, now I know how you'd feel to be a Lions fan. I said,
oh, no, you don't.
No, you don't. And there were a lot of choice words. I said, absolutely not. No, you don't. F you for even saying that. Like, take this feeling you have right now, times it by 1,000 for the rest of your life. That's how.
Well, but that's really the thing. That's the thing that Packers fans don't understand. They're going to have a meltdown right now. This season really looks like it's going to be a spin out for them.
And I'm loving it.
But this is the start, because there's no way. I mean, there's no way that just by odds alone, there's no way the Packers are going to get another quarterback like that. And now they're going to spin into mediocrity, and they don't know how to handle it. And their GM doesn't know how to handle it. The coach doesn't know how to handle it, and the fans don't know how to handle it. And
All
it's
the way
going to be,
down.
I am hoping more than hope itself for 30 years, like the absolute switch of the Packers and the Lions' luck, right, to happen right now, and the Lions ascend into that position. And if we only get 2 Super Bowls and 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, I'm okay with that. I'm just fine with that.
Sure.
And especially if they play the role of the fucking long-suffering Lions, the world would not be more right at that point with me. It's like the end of A Christmas Story when you're like, all's well with the world. This is the way it's supposed to be. It's all ended, right? Ralphie's sleeping with his Zeppelin, whatever. It's all good. It's all good. All right, brother. Thank you for the call. We're going to let you go, all right?
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, you bet.
Be well, Ben. Thank you. God, love my UP peeps. All right. Woo. That was good. That's a really good kind of opportunity to kind of juice the win a little bit. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
Hey, this is Jack from Chicago. Can you hear me okay?
Sure can.
Yes, sir.
How's life in Chicago today?
All right. I'm from Grand Rapids originally. I'm a pack of seltzers deep, and I am fucking excited about today. I am off the wall. Let's go. So couple of just, I'm going to just brain drain here and ask a couple of questions. But my first thought, one of my best buddies from Marquette, from Wisconsin, I went to college with him, first game in Ford Field, absolutely devastated today. So excited about that. I'm pretty confident in saying we ended the Packers season today at 3-6. Very excited about that. And just overall, I think that the questions I have and just the thoughts are like, the broadcasters either today or just across national media are so quick to give Rodgers the benefit of the doubt, but a couple of those interceptions, 2 of the 3 are his fault.
Yeah.
There's nobody else on the field that, other than our defense, who's there to make that play. There's nobody messing up. That's on him. Jerry Jacobs, absolute stud. So excited to have him back. Offense a little bit shaky, but I mean, the defense really showed up today. And, man, I'm just excited about the future. I think I've listened to you guys for quite a while. I've shared this podcast with a ton of my friends over the past 4 years. And I think, one of the things that's constant is everybody kind of rooting for the Lions, but not sure on Matt Patricia. I think we all really want Dan Campbell to succeed. And this just feels like a massive win for that to go in the right direction. I don't think we were super sold on Patricia, at least I wasn't. But super sold on Dan Campbell if he can make this work out. And I think it's a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Ash, let him have it.
Well, I wanted Matt Patricia
Give it
to
to me.
succeed. Just because there's the slight body type resemblance between he and I that does not exist with a lot of coaches. So I, also, we're both think we're the smartest human being we talk to over the course of any given day. So I can kind of empathize with the guy who maybe let his ego get a little out of hand and, rub some people the wrong way that way. But mostly I just wanted the Lions to win. But Dan Campbell, it's hard not to root for Dan Campbell. Like it's I think if we went on another 10-game losing streak this year and he was still just saying the same things, it would have been hard to cheer for him and not just be like, man, shut up.
Grit.
But he didn't. He did not, and we did not.
You've had enough of that shit.
There you go.
Absolutely. Man, it just feels like, another caller referenced the challenge flag. It just felt like that was such a big, aha moment for him. And, man, I was screaming some terrible things during that fumble when I think it was Elliott and Okuda were jumping all over it, but neither one of them could get it. But it just felt like it was such a step. I live in an apartment building in Chicago, and I may have gotten a couple noise complaints on me. But, it's just such a big step in the right direction. Heading to the game next weekend here at Soldier. So, it just feels, I don't know. It just felt like one of those games where we typically don't get it done. We finally get it done. I think Campbell, I don't know, big win for him, I think, today.
There was a moment later in the game that basically the Packers had some success on a play, and then they were trying to race to the line to run another play super quick because they liked the personnel group we were in because Kirby was out. And every Lions player just looked at each other and they did this. And I have no idea what that means. But there were like 11 guys on the field basically doing this. And then they all lined up perfectly to get ready. And then the Packers ended up calling a timeout. Safety. Like that was, well, yeah, that's what that means if you're the refs. But like they did a thing, you know what I mean? And they were all doing it and everyone was on the same page without actually talking. And then they all just lined up to run a defense and the Packers called a timeout instead of running their play. Like that's coaching. That is having a team prepared to play some football.
I'm just trying to help with the audio only people. You did the safety sign. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I was just doing the side that they did on the field. You know, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. But it was nice. Like there were defensive linemen doing it. There were linebackers. There were like defensive backs. Like there was a thing that means, and it was the proper response to whatever Green Bay's BS was going to be right there. You know what I mean? So it was just nice to see a team that was actually prepared for something the other team was doing.
Yep. All right. So,
and how much do you think of that? Is it actually AP, or do you think this is just like a long time coming? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think, like, then this is pure conjecture. I want to say that, like, I do not have sources in the building. I don't know. I believe the phrase from Netflix was, "I don't know shit about fuck." But just basically, my impression of this firing and the way it went down is that this was, to a certain extent, to send a message to some people. You know what I mean? Like some people in the building, basically, like, I love this man. This man is not getting his job done. This man is not here anymore. Everyone here needs to take that into account when we're looking at how we finish out this year. That's the message I think that firing sends.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree at all. All right, box of seltzers deep. Anything else you want to say before we hang up on you?
No, man, I love you both. Chris, you're the voice of ration. We always joke in our group chat of like 10 Lions fans. So Ash, love you as well. Thank you for taking the call. It's my first time calling in 4 years, but I will be sure to call in again when I have enough to drink and we actually win a game.
Please do. This was great.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Be well. All right. Woo, that was good. God. It's so much. I love the calls. You know what? The calls on a lost day are different, but they're still good. I doing this. There's nothing. I've had so many ruined Sundays from the Lions.
Oh yeah.
But doing the show, I just walk out like so much more level and in so much a better place. And on these wins, it's just, I mean, I'm 49 miles high. This is absolutely great. All right, let's hit this question. David Woodkirk, this is a good one. What are you looking for from the Lions for the remainder of the season and remaining games win predictions? What do you have, Ash?
4 wins. That's what I'm looking for the rest of the season.
So 6 total.
I want them to get to 6. Okay. Like I genuinely believe that the win-loss number is important to the rebuild, if only because it begins to reframe the perception of the team nationally. You know what I mean? If we're not drafting in the top 10, the last time, like when national media members pick up draft coverage is going to be the next time they think about the Detroit Lions, to be perfectly blunt. You know what I mean? And what I would, and players who are going into free agency, the same thing. They are not thinking about the Detroit Lions right now. They're just like, they are thinking same old Lions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they look at that and they're like, oh, those guys picked up 7 wins this year. What's that about? You know what I mean? Like, it would be ideal if that were happening. You know what I mean? Whereas if we end up with 4 wins and are drafting in the top 5, we're exactly where we were at the beginning of this year in terms of any veteran help coming. There will be none.
Yep. Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I like the idea of the sneaky good, right? And
because we've dropped the wave of endless prosperity possibility. That's not happening.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but I like the idea of sneaky good. And I think 4 wins is for the rest of the season. 3 to 4 wins for the rest of the season is probably sets the tone appropriately. I think the narrative on the division is so much going to focus on the Vikings and the Packers this year.
I think up and the down.
Yeah. And I think the Bears are going to get kind of a free, kind of quiet ride in the background. I think the Lions are going to get kind of a quiet ride in the background. And so many times, this is so Lions, right? they put themselves in a position of prominence where people start to really sing their praises, and then they just choke out. They just right. So 3 wins, 4 wins maybe. That kind of keeps them in the, I'm not going to buy into it until they really show me something. I've been burned, right? Greg Olsen, and I do want to, well, I'll get to that in a second, but the national people, the national dopes, they that bought in the Lions because Hard Knocks and that kind of stuff, they don't want to get burned again. When somebody's been fooled and they get kind of humiliated because they took a take based on being fooled, they're going to be twice shy next time. So that's cool.
Yep,
that's good. I don't
shame
mind.
on me.
Yeah,
fool me twice, won't get fooled again.
So come on, come on in. He just slid that in. So come on in and let them be quietly,
right. I'm Canadian,
quietly better.
Quote your presidents. That's
Yeah, that's right. Well, maybe you'll speed up your visa.
Yeah. If that's the thing, then it was just never meant to be.
4 and 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Go for the old timey hits. So I think that's interesting. I think 3 to 4 this year is good. I think it's about the how more than the number. That's kind of where I used to be. It has to be about the number, but that's
where we disagree.
Really, the how right now, because
I think the how is going to be fine.
Well, when I look at we played the second strongest strength of schedule. If that continues to remain the truth, if that's at the end of the year, we've had the second most difficult strength of schedule, but Dan Campbell's not making the mistakes he made in the first part of the year. The defense is clicking. The offensive or the defensive line is clicking. Jared Goff is actually delivering a ball downfield, right? And we just happen to lose by 3 points, 5 points, last minute, whatever. The damn refs, that whole kind of thing. But we see that kind of growth. I'm okay because we played top shelf competition. Now, if suddenly we wind up with the weakest schedule and we're losing because Dan Campbell is making terrible in-game decisions, then I don't buy it. Right. And that's where I think the how is kind of more important with me than maybe necessarily the number.
Yeah. Like that's the only way I would even consider DC not being here next year an actual reasonable thing would be like, if we're a coach and a quarterback away, let's get that coach and get that quarterback at the same time.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink so far? Caller?
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm awesome. I just can't believe this game today. Hutchinson's my favorite player, and he got a interception in the touchdown today. What do you guys think about that?
The interception was off the hook. For Hutch to get an interception, and especially, it was a beautiful catch. He looked like the intended receiver. I loved seeing Hutch get that. I think that was just the kind of goose he needed on his confidence. Ash?
I 100% agree. If you're gonna I love offensive lineman reception touchdowns. That is my favorite play in football. Bat guy TD is the greatest thing that happens in the game, but guy who was supposed to be getting blocked by fat guy interception in the end zone is even better.
I couldn't agree more, Ash. Oh man!
Hey, caller,
Jacker getting a touchdown. That was just awesome.
Hey, caller, we didn't get your name or how much you had to drink.
This is 9 drinks, and I've had more than 9 today.
9 drinks. All right. How you doing? I was wondering. More than. Oh yeah, you maybe should go to more than 9 drinks.
Yeah. Hey. No, I got a call from Mike right before the game today, which is a surprise call because he was doing the Cancer Foundation for my wife today.
Mm-hmm.
She ran the 35-mile K or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was just helping to sponsor that. And he gave me a surprise call this morning. And I think, man, that just made my day. My whole day's been great since then, and the Lions won today, so
I'll tell you,
I might have to tell Mike, you have to call me every day. I know you guys love him too.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
He's one of the few good ones. I don't want to say the few good ones, but he's one of the best good ones out there. Mike is a great guy. Yeah. And I love that he does things different than we do, because he does it his own way and we do it our own way, and there's no like drafting off of each other. He's a solid top shelf human being too. And that's the thing about I like about Michael Mike.
Absolutely.
And you'll see the people
And
we
one
kind
of Riz's neighbors.
Yeah. We tend to surround ourselves by good people. And that's how you'll see. That's who we find, and that's who you find on the show, and who we tend to make friends with, people that are not only good at their job, but they're good people as well. And that's what we're after. And Mike's one of those kind of guys. So.
Absolutely, I completely agree. So
nine drinks. I got a question for you. I got a quick question for you. Did you click on the like and subscribe button today?
I do before I ever even get on. I always do. I'm already subscribed.
I know.
It might be under 9 drinks. No, nobody can pronounce it. That's why it's 9 drinks. So.
Got it. All right. What was your other question? Box of seltzers. Go for it.
Oh, no. That was basically my only question. I just wanted to bring that up because I haven't heard you talk about interception.
Yeah.
I kind of clicked on Mike's thing for a little bit, so maybe I missed it, but I didn't hear about you guys talking about Hutchinson's interception, and I just thought
we actually had not.
Awesome.
We had 9 drinks, and that's actually a really great point, because you got a guy like Hutch, number 1 or number 2 overall pick, your number 1 pick in the draft, and he's gotten, what is it? Is it 4 sacks so far this year?
No, 5.
5, yep.
Sweet. I've got him 8.5.
I think it's 4.5. It might be 4.5.
Okay. I got him 8.5 for money. He's just got to stay on that. and I'll tell you, I made I made a little bit of money in the Lions winning today on the money, just straight on the money line. So that was good too. But we got to talk about Hutch, and we've been a little bit quiet on him, both on the good and the bad, because he's a local kid, he's young, and we've wanted to give him kind of the space. Not that what we say or do matters in his world, as Jared told us today, but we just kind of want to give him space to find himself and really find out who he is. The one thing that I like to do really is to provide time, because you can always snapshot a play of any game and you can say this is the worst or best player in the NFL, right? But it takes performance over time to really understand what you're looking at from a coach, a player, a GM. It doesn't matter. And you can say, well, why is this up for 60 years? Yeah. But you basically have a new owner right now in Sheila. You basically have a new GM in Brad. Across the board, it's all really something new to evaluate. So if you want to say the Fords are the problem and that's why they stink, fine, okay. You've taken the long haul, but you're not evaluating the talent you have right now in like the appropriate time frame. And that's what I'm trying to do is just provide context of time for all these different players.
But no, I just didn't hear anything, and I thought, oh man, I'll give you a call. I have gotten my speed dial. I have for a while. I've talked to you once before.
Yeah. I remember
when you and Riz were on.
I remember. All right,
no,
9
I don't
drinks.
want to take up any more of your time, but I love that you put me on. That's awesome.
Yeah.
From Deerfield Beach, Florida, just a little south of you.
Yeah.
About 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, we'll get the go-go lights going for you, brother.
All right.
Hey,
thanks, guys.
All right, we'll see you 9 drinks. All right. Whew. It feels good to win. Just feels good to win.
It really does.
Oh, there was one play. What was it? The 3rd down or 4th down where Penei Sewell, he played his block, his pull right, but the guy that he went to block was already face down, and the Packers player came up the middle that he could have blocked. What play was that? You know what I'm talking about? It's like,
no, I did not see that one. It didn't stick out.
Really?
Which was it super early? I actually missed the first drive because I wasn't quite home yet when the game started.
I'm thinking it was like the 2nd or 3rd quarter. It was a run, and it may have been a 4th down run. I've got to go back and watch again. But Penei pulled and was coming across to basically assist Decker, and the player that Decker was blocking was on his face. I mean, he was down, and they had run a blitz up the middle, and Penei was like just huffing by, and the dude like just skidded in right behind Penei and took Goff out. Again, this is purely from memory. If Penei had like just been able to see, I mean, he was in his right assignment, right? But it's like this is one of those things where you want your field generals to improvise. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, it's always hard on stuff like that. Like whenever you see a like still shot of anything, you know what I mean? Like just taking a snapshot of that moment in the play. Like, okay, but was the guy even supposed to be looking there? Is always the question that immediately pops into my head. You know what I mean? Like last week, for example, like, somebody tweets out a thing where TJ Hawkinson's wide open. And I'm like, yeah, he is wide open after Goff has already thrown the ball.
Yeah.
And the linebacker has come off of his coverage to go help where the ball went. You know what I mean? Yes. Then he is streaking up the middle of the field uncovered because he doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's just always stuff like that. Like, so like, I mean, Panay's just doing what he's supposed to do. Like you'd love him to make the improv play.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Like,
but you'd yell at him
if he does.
You'd yell at him if he did, right? If you're a coach, you'd yell at him, great play, but you fucked up. You know what I mean?
Why are you even looking? It's like when Swift breaks one outside and goes for 35 yards and Deuce is going like up the middle.
Yeah,
the
that's
call
a touchdown.
was up the
That's
middle.
a touchdown.
You're going to get one of your offensive linemen hurt.
Oh,
like, this
man.
is how fat men pop ACLs. Stop it.
Yeah. 3rd and 1 in the 3rd quarter. Thank you, B. Farrell. Appreciate that. All right, really quick. Let's do a quick get your thought of the day. Well, before we do, let's go Amazon.DetroitLionsPodcast.com and Fanatics.DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Fanatics will get you all your Lions gear, merchandise, all the stuff. They give us a kickback. Fanatics.DetroitLionsPodcast.com. And Amazon, you know what Amazon is. Amazon.DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Great ways to support the show by doing something you were going to do anyway. Get over there and do the thing that you want to do. Before we do your roundup, Ash, let's get this last caller in. Yeah. Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink?
Hey, Chris, it's David, and I am stone cold sober because I'm sitting on staff duty.
Well, I appreciate you. I think a lot of people appreciate you being sober right now.
Thank you.
I just want to say, how about the fact that we held the Packers under 100 yards total rushing?
That's the best part of their game, right? I mean, there's something more just to, hey, we held them under 100 yards rushing. With Aaron Rodgers, it's like always been his passing up, but they had 479 yards passing, right? But no, they didn't. I mean, we took the best part of their game out and forced Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball, and that was a little bit janky today. I mean, what a great game plan for and who would ever say, yes, let's force Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball. That's the way to beat the Green Bay Packers. But here we are.
Yep.
Well, when his best receiver is Alan Lazard and then a couple rookies who proceeded to get hurt pretty easily.
They were drop machines before they got hurt. So, I mean, Christian Watson is a guy that we talked about. Saw him at the Senior Bowl last year. And we talked about him a lot, and same with Dobbs. Both guys that just could not hold on to the ball, and people argued with us.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I'm like,
insanely.
See it with our own eyes, guys. It's not just national narratives. We see it. And here we are. A very, very frustrated.
And Christian Watson had a bunch of.
Go ahead.
He had a bunch of drops his senior season too, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he was a machine.
Since high school.
Yeah. He was very much pet a drop.
Another thing
in a wide receiver format with speed. He has the potential, and I hate to say this to put this tag on somebody because it's really offensive, but he has the potential to be a Corey Fuller.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Another thing.
Yeah.
Can Akuda stop hurting our players?
It was great the first couple of weeks when it was only the opposing players that were getting hurt. Now he's going full Delmas on us. What the hell are we watching here?
Yep.
That's what it is. He's Louis Delmas 2.0.
Yep. Well, I think he's a significantly better player than Louis
Rodrigo
Delmas.
If Rodrigo becomes DeAndre Levy 2.0, we might have something.
As long as
that'd be nice.
Just stay away from the discount double check.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that
was Tulloch.
Oh yeah, thanks. Oh yeah, stay away from volcano sledding. That's what it was.
Stay away from volcano sledding and all kinds of other random shit.
Yeah. It's an interesting man.
Oh man. Those things happen in such quick succession that I keep like juxtaposing them in my brain. It was just such a kick in the nuts. Oh man! All right, so yeah, it was. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say those early Stafford years were all kind of a blur.
Yeah,
we had a really good defense, and then it was all gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Let's. Oh, wait, okay. We got a feedback really quick from Jerry Jacobs, talking on the exchange between him and Aaron Rodgers before the half. I was certain that he was just introducing him to the seatbelt gang. Jerry's like, he says, I'm like, dang, bro, you gonna stop trying me? He was just laughing. I'm like, well, you're doing good. He's like, keep going. I was like, all right. I asked him for a juicer too, though.
Jerry. I love Jerry, man. Like. Because why would you not?
Yeah,
you know? Like the guy, as much as we hate him, the guy's going to the Hall of Fame. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you have a jersey collection and the man is willing to do it, you do that, and that's the thing Matt Patricia didn't seem to understand.
God damn, I love Jerry. I got it. I'm gonna give him some shit about that. That's a good one.
Oh,
all right. Hey, Jerry, Seatbelt Gang is back in town. Go to seatbeltgang.com. Get your Jerry merchandise. JJ39. JJ39.live. You'll see some shit going on there too eventually here. We got some good stuff going on. Check it out. Caller, we're gonna let you go, and we're gonna wrap up some stuff here. We gotta do our final give on the show. Thank you for calling though. Appreciate it, bro.
All right.
We'll see you. All right, we're gonna do the wrap here. Go ahead, Ash. Give us your thoughts on the game. Give us your wrap on where the Lions are and where they're going from here.
Well, I think what they need to do is the Dodgers need to buy the team, and everybody from top to bottom needs to be flushed out of this entire organization.
Oh my god!
No, man, everything's going according to plan. Like they are literally one win behind what I expected them to be at this point in the season, and there are a lot of games left to pick up that one win.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this because I think this is a good piece. 2 years. According to you, you're going to know if the rebuild is working.
Yeah.
We're not into 2 years yet. Is the rebuild working thus far?
The drafting appears to be working. Like, from a GM perspective, I do not have a problem with anything he's done. Well, actually, I shouldn't say I don't have a problem with anything he's done. On the balance of all things,
sure.
I am more than okay with the job that Brad Holmes has done as a rookie GM coming in, never having had the job before. Maybe being a little overzealous on a couple things, maybe needing to refocus and kind of look at how he treats injuries in the draft. But he's never really had any money to spend in free agency and was also in charge of a team nobody would want to go to.
Yeah.
So we can't really judge the fact that like some of the free agent signings haven't worked out. And yes, they did run the defense back pretty much, but it's not like they didn't try to sign other players. Like safeties took less money to go to other teams in both of these off seasons. Yeah. Big name safeties, who by the way are not playing any better than Kirby Joseph right now in both counts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Neither of the two guys we know they targeted are playing particularly well for the giant dollar value that we were trying to pay more than. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you could call that an indictment of his free agency strategy, I guess, if you really wanted to dig super deep. But like that's what you get in free agency is you don't get top tier guys for top tier money. You get third tier guys for top tier money. That's just how free agency works. So the fact that they keep talking about this is a build like through the draft strategy, that's how you have to do this in a market like Detroit. Like, and I'm not, dumping on Detroit. Don't get me wrong. I'm just like, we have to understand that the national and in my case, international perception of the city of Detroit is not that it is the most wonderful, idyllic place on earth that you would definitely want to move to, given a plethora of other options who will also pay you millions and millions and millions of dollars.
This is someone from Edmonton telling us this. You guys know this, right?
I don't really know the city. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you from an outsider's view because all these free agents don't know the city either, man.
Wait, hold on.
You know what I mean?
From Edmonton, we're hearing Detroit is not an ideal spot to land. What's the temperature today?
Yeah.
What?
It's too damn cold. That's the answer to that.
What did you say? It was like minus 27?
Let's see. I'm going to translate it to Fahrenheit.
Well, I'll do it right now, but was minus 27 really the right number you had?
It was. I think it was 21 at that second, actually, but I'll tell you the current Fahrenheit in just a moment here.
All right.
If this stupid app will cooperate, which of course it will not. It is right now in my location 9 degrees.
So
It's warmed up a bit.
9. It was 6 at your minus 21. That's
Yep.
They're telling me Detroit is not a place.
So I got
to
people
land.
talking about how the leaves are changing in the Slack chat, and I'm like, man, you go to hell.
You
go
got
to hell and you
leaves.
die.
You got leaves. Mine were gone in September.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like if Edmonton had an NFL team, there's no free agents would ever come here because good God, why would you want to do that? The hockey team here has that problem. So this is why I can kind of identify, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like on that scale, Edmonton is the place that had a hard time until we got like generationally spectacular players on the team to come play with. We couldn't get any free agents either. You know what I mean? And had to just keep building through the draft.
And this
so I've
is
kind of seen this before, and I think Brad Holmes is doing it the right way because of that. Because you can't rehabilitate the reputation of the team. Like that's the thing. When the Pistons were good, they could get people. You know, when the Red Wings were good, they could get people.
This is why they wanted to do Hard Knocks, because they wanted to put that on display. They knew it wasn't. They weren't going to see immediate results. They were betting on what happened this year. But you have players that are playing, right? Players that are not giving up. People talked about, the players gave up in like 2-3 games ago. That wasn't the case. The players didn't give up.
No,
it just wasn't working. And you're going to see, I think now we have money. This was set up. Hard Knocks, the whole narrative right now is set up to cast a good net for free agents to land. And I think with all the draft picks we have and all the money that's potentially available as well, Detroit is becoming a much sweeter spot. Now, what happens next year? No matter what they land in the free agent, and I think they'll get a couple. They'll get a couple of gems. Performance next year, 9 wins. I know it sounds crazy, but 9 wins is really the way to say, yep, we've done it. And if you're less than 9, you know what I mean? I'm really nervous. Less than 9 wins next year with everything they've put in, just doesn't show the rebuild as working. They just have to.
That's it. Like that's why I think you need to progress on that, because you don't build a culture by talking. Like the winning teams have winning cultures. That's how winning cultures are established.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like any team, and a winning culture can be anything as long as it's working. That's the thing that nobody likes to admit. You don't need a certain culture to win. You need good players to win.
Yep.
And you need a coach who can deal with the personality of the specific set of good players that he has. And that's what you need to win. So when you have a coach taking out good players because of the personality of those players, that was a problem. You know what I mean? And that's my one fear with this TJ Hawkinson thing is like, if this is one move that happens, cool. You know what I mean? One guy didn't want to be here. We can all understand why he might not want to be here.
Yep.
If Taylor Decker asks for a trade in the offseason because he doesn't like these coaches, or yada, 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 and there's no reason to think he's going to do that at this point. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I said, I don't have sources. I don't know squat. I'm just saying if. You know what I mean? That would be a bad sign to me. A worse sign than not winning 6 games.
Yep.
Let's just say.
So
like that kind of thing is the thing we need to be looking for.
Yep.
More so than the win total. Like, yes, I still want 6. You know what I mean? Because you have 3, you get 6. To me, that is a progression.
Yep.
But if you get 5, but kind of dropped 1 or 2 at the beginning because the coach didn't have his stuff together because it's his second year coaching and he was kind of getting used to the team that he had, and you had to kind of rearrange some things. Okay, cool. You know, even next year, you know what I mean? Maybe you don't get 9, maybe you get 8.
I don't talk to Decker. Okay. So I'm not saying that, but I talk to people who do talk to Decker, and I would be stunned. Absolutely stunned if Decker wanted to go, just based on everything I'm hearing. So if he wants to go, it is an inside Decker's mind thing only.
Yep.
It is not something he's put anywhere out in the universe. So
not even slightly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
people
that is
saying
a good
they
dude.
see that, that's pure speculation right now. It is pure speculation right now.
That's why I said I don't have sources. I don't know. I don't know shit. I don't know shit about Fluck. I'll
Well,
say that again.
And you were talking about if.
Just if you see
if. And I'm just kind of talking to people that say it is. You can see it. You know that's what. No, that's not. It is not the right word. Unless you're Taylor Decker himself or his wife, you don't know, because everybody else that's around him that he talks to, he's not going anywhere. He's happy.
That said nothing. Yeah, exactly. Like there's no indication that this is an issue.
Yep.
We're halfway through the season, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, it's just canary in the coal mine. I don't think this is, but it's the sort of thing where 2 years down the road, you might look back and go like, oh, I guess maybe that was the canary in the coal mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When that first guy was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yep.
But there's no indication that that's what's happening. So, but I think that would be worse than not hitting that 6-win total.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Having even just like a single guy who is under contract
at that level
pull that crap. Of an importance level. You know what I mean? Like right now, if Charles Harris is like, I don't want to play here anymore, I'm like, good.
It's like Tyrell Crosby. Okay, TC, gotcha.
Oh, hey, our second string swing tackle didn't want to be here.
There's a little.
Okay, cool. You know, all right, that's fine. I'm all right with that. Like, not that doesn't make him an incredible athletic human being who could do things well beyond any capability I have ever had.
But emotionally, God, what a child. All right, so we got all that. Great summation, Ash. Love it. This is a great show. Just soak in the moment. FTP, right? This is where we're at. We did the win. If you're watching, please hit the subscribe, hit the like button if you haven't. Just the like button alone helps us out and helps.
Seatbelt Gang has tumblers?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
Oh, I don't have it with me. Damn it. Oh yeah. The best.
That does look super cool. I'm getting one. Putting it on my desk at work.
Seatbeltgang.com. But the like button really helps us out. And if you haven't subscribed, it's easy. But the like button, you're just here, you're watching it. If you spent more than 3 minutes, just hit the like button. It's easy. We appreciate it. Helps us out. And we keep putting great content out. So, the podcast this week, the Bud Lights are starting to hit. The Rum Runners. Oh, hold on. Thank you. Production truck shows up with the Seatbelt Gang tumbler.
That's that.
I get so it's in focus.
Now I'm gonna have to get the other one.
It's bad. Seatbeltgang.com. It is bad AF.
If you don't like that, there is a second option.
So hit the like button. Appreciate that. Hit seatbeltgang.com, amazon.detroitlions.podcast.com, and fanatics.detroitlions.podcast.com. Those are all great ways to help support us. The like button, though, is the simplest. You just hit that button right now since you're watching anywhere.
Yeah, you're already here.
And off we go.
Like, if you're not doing that, why? Like, what did I do? Why do you hate me specifically if you're not hitting the like button right now?
There you go. All right, there we are. Let's do this. Remember, this show needs your involvement. Do all those things, and don't forget us on Patreon, patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast, the most intelligent chat on the internet, Lions chat on the internet, no questions asked. You get access to the Slack chat if you donate at least $5 a month as part of that, and you won't regret it. The game day chat is over the top. It's awesome, and look,
it's the only place on the internet you can call me an a-hole without getting blocked.
Yeah. And it's a great place to disagree without being disagreeable. They're really good, challenging conversations when they want to be. There's fun conversations, but it's a great place to hang out and really have a solid Lions chat. Really appreciate all those that are there. You can be there as well. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. QMQ. My New Glarus beer was so delicious. New Glarus. Oh, man. I need to get my hands on some. There's none down in Florida. Hurt me. All right. Thank you, QMQ, for the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Or sis, I guess. Whatever. I'm going to go with bro. All right. Follow us on Twitter.
Bruh. Throw a little schwa in there.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter at DET Lions Podcast. DET Lions Podcast. The very best place to see us hanging out pants free all the time, especially when we win. Also, give us a call via Skype at Detroit Lions Podcast, all one word, Detroit Lions Podcast, or call us on the Lions line at 929-33-LIONS, 929-335-4667, and be sure to go to DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Subscribe to the show. What happens, Ash, when they subscribe?
Well, what occurs is that we arrive in the holes in the sides of your head automatically.
That's right. We come in your little box automatically. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to see you next time on the Detroit Lions Podcast. Remember, no pants, no toasters, no hot tubs. Why? Because we got no problems, baby. For your Detroit Lions and Reddit connection. Thank you for listening.
FTP!